Hello, everyone. Welcome to Accelerate to Profits with Virtual Event. I'm Justina Nielsen, your host today, and I have an amazing guest speaker today, Carla White, who's a founder. Hello, Carla.
Hi.
She's the founder and CEO of Hero.fm, and she's a software pioneer, a podcast host, and a coach helping entrepreneurs make 100K using audio. She's also the first woman to ever launch an iPhone app and has been featured on Oprah, NBC, New York Times, and countless other media. I bet. Holy cow, this is awesome. And I invited her today. There's more. I promise all the bio is on Carla's speaker page. But the reason why I invited her today, because I found her with an amazing product and service that she's for entrepreneurs. And she's here to show us today how to make 1K in a day using audio without launching a podcast, funnel, or even picking up a mic. Mic drop. I love it. I can't wait. Please tell us more about you. Who are you? Thank you for joining us. What do you do? Who do you help and with what?
Hey, it's so cool to be here, Justina. So, yeah, and what a cool summit. So I'm very honored to be here. Yeah, I'm the CEO and founder of Hero.fm. That's HIRO.fm. And the company was created 2 years ago. Well, the beta, which I like to call the duct tape version, the like really rudimentary, let's see if this just works version, was created. It was my pandemic project. So
Wow.
so the reason I created it, I didn't want to create it. I tried to find something out there that did what Hero does, and it didn't exist. And the reason I wanted something so desperately is because um, I have an app called Gratitude Journal. That's the one that I launched like a bajillion years ago.
That's you? Wow.
Yeah, and the app is my lead magnet. And so people would get the app, they'd get on my list, and I would invite them into a challenge. But as you know, with challenges, people start strong, they finish weak. Like there's so much fall off. And I was doing whatever I could to get them through the challenge. I would give them t-shirts and gift
Wow.
cards and, Starbucks, whatever to get them to show up for I would go live every day for 21 days during that challenge,
Wow.
except for the weekends. Yeah. And it was super effective for the people who went through it. Like, and
Mhm,
they would join my inner
mhm.
circle after that. But the drop off rate was terrible. And then a lady joined the challenge and she said, I'm not going to watch the videos. I'm not going to watch the replays. Just pull all the audios and give me the audios. And at that point, I was like desperate. I'd do anything to get people to go make it through. So I'm like, yeah, whatever you want, I'll get them to you. So I give them to her. I put them up on a Google Drive and she gets them. And then a few days later, she goes live in our private Facebook group and she's introducing herself and she's saying things like, yeah, I just downloaded and binge listened to everything. And
Wow.
I was like, we deserve to be grateful and we deserve to be wealthy. And I'm like smashing the hearts as I'm watching this live. And I'm like, yes, this is so awesome. But then she started crying and she said that her son saw this change in her. And because she was so much stronger, he felt like he could confide in her that he was actually planning to commit suicide. He was planning to take his life.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, and I was like, whoa. And she goes, if I never listened to this, he wouldn't have confided in me. My life would have been so different. So that was a huge wake up call. Like, I need to have audio for all my trainings. I just need it because, like, my main audience are women and they're working and they're busy and they're like
Yes.
moms and have jobs and careers and all this other stuff. So that's when I started to look for something out there. There was nothing.
Mhm.
But here's the cool thing that I discovered by chance. Once I
Wow.
started turning things into audio, my completion rates went up and my inner circle filled up. Like
Wow.
people would complete the 21-day challenge by like at least 75% of the people. And when they were done, they would be like, where do I sign up? What's next? But because there wasn't any software out there, I'd have to upload everything and recreate each challenge every single month that we did it. And
Oh,
that would be
true.
a few days worth of work, like copy and paste and upload and then test. And is it all releasing at the time I want it to release? And it was a pain, but it was worth it because audio completely changed my business.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad
Yes.
to hear that
But
'cause
when
I'm
the
considering.
pandemic happened, that's when I said, well, I'm going to create the software I wish that I had.
Wow. That I
Yeah.
wouldn't have gone that far. I don't even know how to start that. Are you a software developer? Is that what you are?
Yes. Yeah. So, well, I'm
Okay.
the first woman to launch an iPhone app. I've worked for NASA, Pentagon, Microsoft.
Wow.
I've launched software companies all over the globe. Yeah. I've been producing softwares for a long, long time.
Mm. That's amazing. And because I think it's coming out there, right? The audio. And I mean, it's not even coming out there. I mean, podcasts have been very popular, but
Mhm.
the virtual events have been video and audio, right? And we
Yes.
see the same thing, the attrition rate. We see not enough people sign up, but they don't watch. And I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, how often do I walk around with my kids or I go somewhere, go for a walk, car, whatever, it's on the go. So
Yeah.
I am more likely to do this versus if I have to watch something, I feel like it requires my attention. So I'm more like schedule
Yes.
it or maybe in bed, I'm postponing it. I'm like, yeah, just text me the link and I'll listen to it on the spot. I have no problem with it. I have no
Right.
problem with that. It's not,
Yeah.
I think it's
So,
not intrusive. Maybe that's why.
well, it's a few things. So, one, it's seamless, like it disappears. It makes the tech disappear. It's like a one-on-one conversation.
Mm,
Secondly, like you said, you're out for a walk, you're getting groceries, you're driving. So you're not multitasking and you have more of the listener's attention. And therefore, like podcasts have a playthrough rate of like 90%. So they like once they start a podcast, they usually play it all the way through to the very end. And with video, it's like 17 seconds. And also they're
oh,
multitasking. Now here's where it gets really interesting though, because they're walking or doing active activities while they're listening. They
mm,
have endorphins and all sorts of happiness chemicals going through their brain. So, a couple of things happen. One, they retain more information, so they're going to act on it more. And two, they are happier and it's your voice in their ear. And so they're going to associate you with making them feel good. And so they just automatically have what's called a parasocial relationship with you, where they feel like they know, love, and trust you. I mean, I know you probably have like an author you listen to or a podcast host that you can think of that you listen to where you kind of almost feel like you know them.
yes.
And yeah, so you
They don't
have,
know me, which is so weird. I don't get it. I know everything about you. I think you're my
yeah,
friend, but they're like, who are you? But yes,
right.
you get to become,
Yeah. I mean,
you get into
like,
the world.
look at Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, right? That's a
Uh,
huge parasocial relationship. People like, I'm so Johnny Depp or whatever, and
uh-huh.
they've never met him before, right? They don't know who they are. So, or free Britney Spears. So you have all of that in your favor with audio that you don't get as strong or as quick with video.
Mm. So for virtual events, I mean, should I do it just audio or I mean, does it even make sense? Because right
Yeah,
now, I'm still doing both, right? I'm transitioning,
mhm.
and I know I'm recording on Zoom, so it does record video and audio. I
It
guess I can
does
always,
record audio.
yes, I'm saying it records
Oh,
both, so I could just do that. But
mhm.
for so you're saying you can have a summit or a virtual event and just audio.
You could. One thing that a lot of my customers have done is they've added the audio version as like the VIP
The VIP.
level. Mhm. So you have your
Yes.
general admission and then you have your VIP. And with the VIP,
Because it's convenience and pay that. Awesome.
right.
So how is Hero that FM different? Like what?
Yeah.
Yes, because I love to know that.
Oh,
'Cause I know there's choices, right? But and I've checked it out and I love it. But please tell me.
yeah. Oh, so part of it is I am in the info business. So I know what we call infopreneurs are up against, right? A lot
Mm,
of it is creating a funnel takes a lot of work. Okay. So that right there, we take care of that. We give you an instant sales page. So you upload your audios or your videos. We instantly convert your videos into, well, not instant, like it has to do a little bit of processing, but we automatically convert video to audio. So you don't have to rip all the audio. And then as soon as your show is made, you connect your Stripe account and we have an automatic sales page. So you can start selling it right away without having to create the funnel or anything like that. The other thing we do is we really like to cater towards emerging trends. And one that is really huge at the moment, and if you're not on it, you're going to be soon, because it'd be bananas if you aren't. And that is SMS marketing. SMS marketing is crazy right now. It is taking off. And if you're going to wait a few years to get into it, then you're kind of going to miss the wave. So what we like to do is one, help you grow your SMS list. And we do that with a keyword opt-in, whatever your summit name is, text the word
I love that.
hero to 555-1212 and we'll send you a link to the show. Okay. So then you can grow your SMS list. And what we do is we set it up. So, and I'll give you a demo, but they text and then you can automatically have the first text come back that says, hey, what's your email? So you're getting their SMS and email and you can ask for their name and we're going to keep building on that. Like we have people in the crypto space where they're like, what's your MetaMask ID or whatever it is. So we can drop a coin in your wallet sort of thing. And they can get all this automatically. Now, here's something really super cool that I love that we do with Hero that nowhere else on no other audio platform can you do this in addition to the other two things. But we have our own player app. We have our own app where you can download it on Android or iPhone, and it's a Hero app. So people add your shows into that app. And then you as a creator can see who listened to what and when.
So stats like no one ever does. Wow, that's really detailed. That's one of my biggest frustrations, I think, with podcast platforms. Because
who's listening?
I know, yes, exactly. Because so I'm creating my own podcast and I'll create it from on topic, but I've been supporting people, clients, with creating their podcast, and stats are really lacking. Really bad. Like, I really don't know. And then just this random platform we're using, it kind of gives you like a snapshot. Here's in the last 30 days, kind of, but it really doesn't give me any insight to
no,
that I can take it. And I'm not just spying and because I'm curious, right? I want to use this insight so I can create something better for them in the future, right? So that's the idea. So you can always keep getting better and serving with things that are innovative and relevant. And yes, I a little bit asking around, how do you get the stats?
Right.
I mean, I know.
Well, here's the cool thing. Here's what we're doing with what you can do with Hero is you can set up a trigger. So let's say you have a show and somebody listens to this part of the show, our conversation. And you can see when they finished it or they got to 90%, let's send them a message with a free bonus.
Wow. So you can target market right based on their listening.
Right at that moment. How many times have you been listening to a podcast and they're like, go out to this website, go somewhere you're never going to go to and go get the thing that you're never going to get.
Right.
Like imagine, like you could do things like, I have an event coming up next Tuesday. I'm going to text you the link. Boom, 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 boom. And there it is, right in your SMS box.
And I love that, especially with the SMS messaging. So let's say I'm listening to somebody else's podcast, right? And they're like, hey, I've just guessed they have an online show, text, I don't know, show X to this number. And like I'm could be even driving or doing whatever. It's like, hey, Siri, text X to whatever. Like it's so easy and convenient. And right there. And yes, I can also see
is Siri talking to you now?
Siri, remind me later. I'm not gonna say
that's classic. Yeah, you gotta be careful. They're always listening.
Yeah, so I'm just eating up everything you're saying because first of all, the sign up for the events, that's so cool. That's easy. And yeah, like right now to get a link or someone's site, and then even if let's say someone, listened to a certain point, like you said, and they didn't get the gift or the freebie or whatever it is, you can target them and remind them. That's amazing. That's kind of like what we used to have when I first found out about email, that you can segment and
Yes.
automate based on needs. You're saying we can
Mhm.
do that with our summit and video. That's amazing. I might be sold on all audio. Well,
Yeah,
let's say I have
well,
an idea. How do I start? I guess, I mean, do I record my own? Have this
yeah,
go
that's a
somewhere else
really
and record it?
good.
Mhm.
Okay, I wasn't planning to share this, but I do have an interactive audio book, and so you can just kind of see how it works. And the audio book is, let's get your show launched in a day and start
Yeah.
making 1K without picking up a mic. Right? That's the audio show, and you could create something like that. But here's what I say: everybody has content sitting around on their hard drive. They got Zoom calls, they got coaching, they got whatever sitting around.
Yes.
And you can use it to grow your list. You can use it to maybe nurture clients. So I have customers who have agencies, and one of them has a Facebook ads agency. Prospect comes in. She's like, here's a private podcast. I'm going to help you get some quick wins right away before we even talk. Plus,
Mm.
we're going to get you set up. So they're
Win.
not only giving them quick wins, they're like, as soon as I get on that call, that person has all their stuff organized. All the onboarding has been done.
Yeah,
And
it's like an employee that's working for you before you even talk to them, right?
yes,
And
and
it's
her
a little bit
conversion rates
personalized.
went up. Yeah.
And I think it feels more personalized to the speaker, right? Because I have some clients I'm talking to today. She signed a contract 2 weeks ago. We haven't talked. We're kind of talking cold.
Yeah.
But in those time, I could have been utilizing whatever onboarding podcast I have to get it
Yeah.
prepared and started so we can hit the ground running.
I have an inner circle coaching program, and when somebody applies for the call for their whatever you closing call, right? We'll just call it what it is. But really just to see if we're a good match, I give them a show that they have to listen to first. It goes through my entire process of how we do our program, everything about the program, all the questions that they have. It goes through everything. And it's quite long. It's about 4 hours long, but they also hear testimonials from other clients, their case studies, all these things. So by the time they get on the call, a lot of the questions have been taken care of. And if they don't listen to it, if a call is scheduled for that day and I see they didn't listen to it, I'm like, we got to reschedule.
Oh my
We're
God,
not going to,
you know if they listen to it? That's
yeah,
amazing.
if they listen to it. So you can just go in there and just say, look, this is requirements. This is your homework. If you can't listen to this, we're not going to be a good fit because
We're not gonna be
they're
productive.
just going to be wasting your time. If they can't be bothered to take the training that is free, that will get them a result, whether we're going to work together or
That's
not.
true.
Yeah, then they're not going to be a good fit. So it saves both people a lot of time.
Thank you. That was a good coaching lesson too. Like a
Yes.
mindset, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I have clients like, I'm just too busy. I'm just too busy. I'm like, okay, like at a certain point, you have to want your success just as much or if not more than I do. Right.
We all like, if there's pockets, you can't, you get groceries, you do laundry, you pop in an earbud, you can listen to it. Even if they just listen to 3/4 of it, at least they made an effort. But yeah. Mhm.
I feel like what you just told me though is like, because originally before we talked, I'm like, great, this is great for repurposing
Mhm.
events and all that. Now we found out you can actually run a whole event with SMS messaging and this intelligent targeting messaging, but also I feel like you almost replacing an e-course because here's
Yes,
why.
I do that. So
Yeah.
so I like this it's called Audio Secrets, interactive audiobook. Everything is in the player. You don't have to log into any membership sites. You don't have to I didn't have to set up any membership site. It's just purchase. I do have a funnel for the sales page because I'm A/B testing things. But you just purchase it and it all goes right into the player app. All the links, everything you need are right there. I have demo videos. That are linked to in the player app. So for that episode, I'm like, go into the notes.
Ooh,
Demo videos are there. I'm also going to email them to you right now. So they'll be waiting in your inbox as well.
that is such that's such convenience and immediacy. Satisfies
Yeah.
all my needs. Like I love it. I'm just saying, there's so much. Like I mean, I know, especially for everyone in the audience today, like you video or audio, whatever kind of event you're creating. One of the
Mhm.
most frustrating thing is to put on this amazing show, right? I have
Yeah.
great speakers, so much info, free event, free gifts, we have links, and then people sign up and they don't come. I'm like,
Mhm.
but you need this. Like you could really do so
Yes.
much better if you really this I really curated this event to really give you a jump start on your next event by like years and thousands of dollars. But it's
Yes.
hard to make someone, right? And it's not even making them. It's reminding them. It's just like basically reminding them because they already want to. They already signed up. So I'm not making anyone. And I love the SMS, right? Because that gets to you right away. And the
Mhm.
immediacy and the conveniency of it. It's so
Yeah.
good.
SMS gets the open rate on SMS is like 99%. And most times they're open within 10 seconds.
Yeah, and I hear you when you say get on this bandwagon or get on this trend because just like with emails, there will be a time where SMS will also be oversaturated.
Yes,
Not yet.
exactly.
Not yet.
And same with audio. Like
That's true.
everybody who's listening to audio thinks it's either a podcast or an audio book. They're not expecting a webinar. They're not expecting a summit. And the
I wasn't
audio
expecting it.
listening has went up by over 50% since the pandemic. Most of that
Oh,
women.
I
I mean,
bet.
that's a huge audience looking for stuff. I don't know if you're an audio nerd like me, but I run a lot and I go for a lot of walks. And the thing I don't want to do is have to find something to listen to before I go.
Yes.
So it's like you're doing people a favor when you offer them audio. You're tapping into a huge marketplace. You get more of their attention for longer. It's like so many benefits compared faster, quicker to make, less expensive. Yeah. So
Yes.
that's why I created Hero. Like that's the whole idea behind it because I know these people have so much knowledge and information, yet the hurdles to getting it out are like the tech, the funnels, the connecting of everything, all this like back end stuff. It can put you in a holding pattern for years.
It is true. And I think one of the things we haven't discussed it yet is like some people might not even create ever a
I
virtual
know.
video event because they have to show up on camera. Like that's such a
Yes.
roadblock. It's a huge roadblock. I've been creating this e-course 2 years now. Everything documented. I just haven't gotten on the camera. I have gotten the camera, but I never liked the way.
I
Whatever.
know, right? How many retakes do you do? I am the exact same
Yes.
way. You watch
Because
it
there's
and
so
you're like,
much, right? My makeup, my hair, and then this, and then by the time I do this, okay. And somehow getting on audio is no big deal to me because
no,
it's just instant. And I'm also not as self-conscious about the way I look. So
no.
I sound better because I don't care.
Yes, it's so, and you're more natural.
That's
I
what I
mean,
mean.
it
Yeah.
is not natural for you to look at yourself as you're talking.
No, it is not. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Yes.
So awkward. You have to be kind of really in love with how you look or something like that
I don't
to,
know. Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of times it's just the repetition and maybe stop caring about the way you look. Sometimes
yes,
like,
or
okay,
stop
it is what
caring.
it is.
Yes.
But in general, to get there, it's a journey. And I've seen that one of the biggest reasons why people postpone virtual events, cancel them, indefinitely postpone, or just like have these big issues is I have to get on the camera and I have to talk and I hate it. And audio seems like, okay, cool. And with the e-courses, it's almost kind of the same thing, right? Because now I have to watch an e-course. Even if I have a client, I'm onboarding, right? And I'm just explaining the stuff that I repeat to all the clients. I just want to watch a short video. It's only whatever, 5, 10, 20 minutes. But you'll have to log in and press the play, pay attention, right? While everyone is
Yeah.
talking, and then do that. Versus audio, it's click play with my AirPods. I can be cooking dinner and
Mhm.
listening to the show.
Yeah. Your completion rates will go up.
Amazing.
It's
Which
really
means
good.
money, money,
Mhm.
money,
Right?
money.
Exactly. Exactly. You're gonna be able to serve way more people.
Yes,
It's
impact
so
and
cool.
money, right? It's impact and
Mhm.
profit. That's exactly what we're about. So if
Yeah.
someone wanted to start, um, I know it's a paid service because you put so much value in it and it's so wonderful. Do you have a free trial or do you have?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, depending on when this is coming out, we're switching up how our free trial works. So, right now it's free forever, but you can only add yourself as a listener, and a lot of the features are turned off, a lot of the really good ones.
You
So,
can
what
just
we're
try
going
it
to
out,
do,
basically. Yeah.
yeah. So, what we're doing is changing it so you get all the features for 2 weeks. You get to try everything out, get it all
Mm.
set up. Really, it only like I could set up a show in like 2 minutes. Really, it's so fast.
Like filling out a
Um,
form, right?
yeah, really, you just what's the name? What's some cover art? We even have a cover art maker, right? Like
I
just
saw
boom, boom,
that.
boom.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I
and
really feel
then
like you really thought of the end user in mind when you're creating it, and I really appreciate that because it is all in one, and even the event creator, like the cover art creator, it was like so great.
yeah, one of my clients, and she said, "You should market that." She has ADHD, and
Me
she said,
too.
"You should." Oh, okay, because she's like, "You should market this strictly to AD or like do some marketing solely to ADHD," because she goes with everything else, she cannot get anything complete, but with Hero, she just knocks out training after training after
I
training.
mean, that's the light bulb I just came off in the next 5 minutes before I even talked to you and before I was already sold on it. It's like e-courses are so much, the modules and everything else.
Yeah,
And really, unless I'm doing a tech walkthrough where I need to show you my screen, that's
yeah,
fine. But most of the time, I'm coaching you how to, or giving you motivation or tips and
yeah.
stuff like that. And I could have a private, I never thought of a private podcast, never heard of it. Right.
I
I
know.
always thought the public, so I was gonna record my little e-course where people have to like, but I
Mhm.
could just have a private podcast. So, can I have more than one podcast with Hero?
Oh, absolutely. So we have an unlimited plan.
Hey,
So you can create as many as you want,
I
have
don't
as
even
many
that many.
listeners.
I just maybe I'm thinking like a private one and a public one. Probably what
Yeah.
most people I would
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah. So we have different plans based on how many shows you want, how many text messages you're going to be sending out, that sort of thing. So,
It's
yeah.
amazing. I don't want to keep us too long because I wanted to see it still.
Okay.
We get to see the product. I do want to make sure that everyone knows. I know you already gave us a special bonus offer that we were not expecting. So thank you so much. I'll include that. But also I know that you mentioned a gift on to give away to the audience.
Yes. So it's a very in-depth guide. We went through all the different shows that are on Hero, like hundreds of thousands of shows. We picked out some of the really cool, interesting ones and we put them together. So it's 37 mind-blowing ways to make money from audio. And a lot of these ways it's just using content you already have. You do not have to pick up a mic, you don't have to record anything. In fact, if you don't have any content sitting around, we show you how to go find content that you can license for like 10, 15 bucks.
Okay, so
And
anyone in the audience says, I can't make money, I need money, I don't know what I'm
yes,
creating. Like literally, Carla here is telling you she's gonna find your content,
yep,
make it easy for you to create graphic and fill out a form and literally post it. So like, oh my gosh. I wish
yeah.
I had an idea like that during the pandemic. This is a great idea. But I know it's also a lot, it's a life of work for you. I understand that
Well, I'm
idea.
telling you, when I couldn't find something and I'm like, I'm gonna have to make it. I'm like, I don't want to make it. I
I
don't
love
want to
people who
because
solve problems for
it's a
themselves and make it.
lot of
Because
work.
because I know that when you're solving a problem for yourself, my problem will be solved, right? Because you know
Yep.
you live
Yeah.
in it. Awesome. Do you want to
Yeah.
pull up the screen and show us
Yeah.
what
Let
you're
me
in?
let me
I'm so
share my
excited.
screen.
Yes. That's
So
awesome.
all right. So we're in the Hero app right now. This is just a home screen and gives you some shortcuts on some features and getting our app from the store. But this is going to be built out with a lot more statistics.
Mm.
There's been a minute since I been in here. So let me pick out a show.
No problem. I ask
And
you a quick question while you're doing it.
yes,
Is there an optimal length of an audio for podcasts?
yeah,
That's
it kind of depends. It's
yeah.
nice. I kind of like um sort of 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes,
Oh,
because when somebody goes for a walk, it's usually like a half hour. And that way they can go through a few episodes at once and they'll feel like they made a lot of progress and they don't have to stop halfway through an episode. So,
shorter episodes more
yeah, I
often.
do like that, but really it kind of comes down to the content.
It does
Uh,
content in the audience. I'm sure the best way, but if you don't have the statistics, you don't know what works for you, right? So
mhm.
what I love about this is you can show them the stats.
So here you see all the different episodes and this listener, how much they listen to, how many times they listen to a show, all sorts of really, really cool
Wow.
stuff. And then I don't know if I have any key. Yeah. So I have some keywords set up here. And with the keyword, you can turn on, let's collect their email address, and it'll show you right here what it'll look like when that's text through.
Oh, I see. So
Let's
keyword is
collect their
for the
name.
texting.
So here's their name, and what it'll look like, and then the actual SMS message.
Is this
And
separate? Is there a limit or an SMS messages or is it
so the SMS is
just great?
beta right now. And so I don't know if we limited how many SMS keywords per plan yet, but when we rolled it out, we're just like, you guys have fun with it. We just want to see how you use it. So just today, we are now starting to collect the emails and names and more details so that you can build your list. But let me show
Amazing.
you how to create a new show. So you can import your YouTube channel. So you just connect with Google.
That feature is fantastic.
Yeah. Or you can do an RSS feed. And if your show is on Apple Podcasts like mine, so I have a show called Radical Shift, and then I can import that directly from an RSS feed.
Oh, wow.
Or you can start from scratch. So it's really super simple. I'm just going to grab whatever's here for sample. Here's our cover, like simple cover art maker. I mean,
Right.
it's private. No, it's not going to be out there in the
No,
middle.
you just want it to be an icon, basically. It just needs to be an icon so
Right.
people can recognize you. It's small, even if it's not private, it's a small square. It just needs to be visible title and yeah, it's not
If
a piece of art necessarily.
like some of my clients, they're just like, I don't want to create anything. And you can see here off to the side, it will show a mock-up of what it looks like on the phone. So this
Oh,
is
that's nice.
my favorite show. Um, and then you can change the colors if you want to have different branding. And this is where it's very different than a podcast player. A couple of things that we're doing here. So you can have episodes release all at once. So they get access to the whole show at one
Okay,
time.
like evergreening a summit or a virtual event where you already have everything recorded and you're just
Well, more like an audio book. You want them
okay,
to have
more
all the chapters at once
sequential.
so
Got
they
it.
can binge
Sequential.
listen.
An
But if
audio
it's
book
like,
too. Yes, that's another
so
use of it.
if it's a summit, then you can, or a challenge or something, you can drip it over a time period. So
Mhm.
each day you're going to get a new episode. Or you can have it more like a regular podcast where an episode releases on a specific date. And then the second part is where you create that urgency to listen. So you can let them have access to the content forever, or you can have it expire, have the whole audio show expire after a certain number of days, or you can have each episode expire. So one of my clients I'm doing this with, he wants to drip out the content and then he wants them to have 3 days to listen to each episode. So after 3 days, that episode will be locked and gone. One thing that we're introducing is an upgrade option. So if it is locked or gone, or if content is expiring, then you can upgrade to have everything at once and to have it forever. So we're introducing that to the podcast player. And then we put in some details, copyright details. And then the listener, when each listener has their own install link, so it can't be shared. And that's really important because, like, a lot of piracy happens with course creation.
Yes, yes,
share it with a friend or something. So each listener has an access email that will be sent to them, but you can change that if you want. Like if you want to invite them into a Facebook group, or maybe you don't want it in English, you want it in German or something to that regard. So here's my show. I don't know why it's not showing the icon there, of course, because I'm doing a demo. And then you upload your audios or videos. I'll do that later. And then that's it, right? You set up your monetization, which would be getting your sales page set up. So I'm going to give this away for free. Let me go into a different show and we already have that set up. This one. Okay. So here's the sales page, and you can set a price. You have your own URL for that page.
Really? Good.
You can set some about the show, and we even give you example text where we fill in your show name and everything, and you just hit use that.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you can set up your page in about 2 minutes.
Yes.
You can add reviews. You can change out the FAQs. And if you're going to charge for it, you do have to link your Stripe account. We don't take anything from our side, but I think Stripe will take a percentage.
Yeah. Oh, everyone does. Yes.
Yeah. And that's it. That's your show. And then you can copy the sales page URL. You can embed your show into another site.
Oh, you can embed it too. Great.
Yeah. So or you can copy your keyword number if you're like doing stuff. But I'm not going to open it now because I don't want a whole bunch of pages opening.
Yes,
well,
yes.
actually, I will. We'll look at the sales page so you can see what that looks like.
Okay.
So here's the sales page.
Oh, and you can just buy it right there. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Like audio courses. Oh, that's amazing.
Yep. And
it's like changing my whole business strategy for the next year, Carla.
And then not only do you have a sales page, but then you have your profile page too. So you could put this like link on all your social media or whatever, and people can come here and get all your different shows. And
let's say someone, you know how, so is this a private or a public one that you're showing?
This would be public. So if I don't want my show listed here for anybody to purchase or to get free access, then I would go into here and I would turn off my sales page.
Okay, that's how easy it is.
Yeah.
And then what about like if someone, let's say it was public and someone wanted to listen to it on, I don't know, Apple Podcasts or something, is this the only place they can listen to it?
No, right now you can add it to Apple Podcast, but we are going to phase that out for our private shows because we want to really create those automations, and they won't work if they're listening to it on a different player.
That's right. That's right. It kind of makes kind of a dummy, like a smart.
Yeah, we don't really know how many episodes they actually accessed at that point because each player is different. The way they download or access the material is different. But with our own app, like we can see, okay, you listened to 32% of this.
Yeah. I like it almost better. And especially for private or very niche shows. Like I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't really care what app I'm listening on, especially if you give me notifications and you make it easy and stuff. as long as it plays when I'm running or walking, I don't really care what app it's on.
Yeah. And, our player app, the one that we created for these shows, is designed for private podcasts. So if you use the Apple Podcast player, then the show gets lost with all the other shows that are out there.
That's true.
But if you use the Hero, then you don't have to look for it. It's right there. It's set up specifically for these shows. So we're going to start to phase it out. But we want to introduce more features into the player before we phase out supporting the other apps. So we still
Wow.
support those. But yeah, it's like
This is
so
amazing.
simple.
This is amazing.
And it integrates, we have all these different integrations. So we integrate, if you wanted to sell access from your own funnel, we got a Zap for that. If you want to automatically send them emails at certain times, we got Zaps. If you want to automatically add episodes from Dropbox or Vimeo or some other platform, you just connect it. And when you add in a video there, we'll pull it in and we'll send you an email saying, hey, we got a new episode. You got to come in and make it live. Or we can automatically shut off listener access. So let's say you're selling membership from your own funnel and you don't want, if they missed a payment, for example, from your own funnel, you're not selling it from the Hero sales page, then we can set it up so that that listener's access is automatically removed if they miss a payment.
They missed a payment. Okay.
Yeah.
So much stuff. And how do you send emails? I guess I wasn't clear on that.
Yeah. So right now, okay, so we're up here. We're going to have a feature, which will probably be, but when is this going live?
August 22nd.
Okay, might be a little close, but there'll be another 2 more buttons up here. One's going to be automations. And so you'll be able to pick a show and then pick an event, like they played the show or they stopped the show or they didn't listen for 3 days, anything like that. And then you pick what sort of automation you want to have happen. Do you want an audio to drop? Do you want an email to be sent? Do you want a text message to be sent? Do you want a notification in the app to go off? And then you can set all of these and basically just forget about it. Do you want them to get access to another membership site? I mean, it's almost unlimited what you could all do with this. And so that's going to be up there. And then the second button, which I wish we were just watching this today, and it should be there shortly, is broadcast. So you can send out a message to everybody. Let's say I want to send a message to everybody who got Audio Secrets and 6-Figure Hero. So I want to send them all a message saying, look, I'm going to have a pop-up workshop on Thursday. Here's the link to register. And I can just send it out. Yeah. I'm so excited about all this.
I mean, SMS alone can be a costly service. Editing alone, I mean, the podcast alone and the emails alone, all the sequencing, all the smart stuff can be alone. And what you're telling me, unlike the other systems, the conversion rates are awesome, right? It's just easier for people to digest the information. I will tell you, I had a major mind shift, especially for my clients or potential clients, this kind of video, short bits of information, it finally solves the problem. I'm creating all these e-courses and you need them and you're not finishing them. You're challenged, right? You know you need it, but you're not finishing. I can't help you. And it's frustrating, but unless you have a solution like this, digestible, easy, convenient, private or not, with profit, not for profit, and with SMS to make sure that it doesn't get lost in the thousands of emails that we get every day. So
my churn rate on users is so low because once they create one podcast, one private show, they're just like, oh God, this is crazy. And then they create a second one and then they create a third one. And they're just like, this is the best thing for my business. I have one client, I just love her to death. Her name is Kiana Daniels. And she had a very extensive course about investing. And her target market was moms. And her refunds were crushing her because her course was so extensive. And these moms are like, I want to learn it, but I don't have the time. So I'm like, "Well, I got you covered, honey."
Okay, that's right.
Her refund rates dropped by 75%. She hit over $1 million. Now she's making almost $1 million a month because people just love it. And she's just putting everything into audio now. It's fantastic.
Yes, this could be a big, big turner for many. I can see that my wheels are turning. I'm so excited that you joined us today. Thank you so much. This has been
Oh, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Everybody, I'll definitely go download. We have 2 things from Carla and Hero.fm. And also, before we leave, any final words, either summary or a tip or something that we can remember on our journey of creating audio podcasts and audio events?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's so much about audio, but it is something that's stuck with me significantly. And that is, if you're doubting yourself, look for evidence of whether that's true or not. And if you don't find proof of that doubt being absolutely true, then it's just a story you're telling in your head that's keeping you in a comfort zone. So recognize that it's a lie and then don't let it hold you back.
Goosebumps. That was really good. Yes.
Oh,
Thank you, Carla. I really enjoyed meeting you today, and thank you for your generosity. We'll be in touch, and thank you for being a part of this event.
yay.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.